Hello there, everybody. It's your Star Wars Dad Nooch. And as you know, about a year ago, I started the free-to-play Supreme Leader Kylo Ren quest. I finished him a couple months ago, and I started that at the time because I truly believed that Kylo was the very best first Galactic Legend for everybody to farm. But now with Rose-icron coming out, with her omicron ability, I'm starting to wonder if maybe Rey has taken over the top spot as your best first Galactic Legend to farm. So we're going to take a little bit and dig into the two teams, Kylo versus Rey, to see which one you should farm first as your first Galactic Legend. All right, so here we are, taking a look at the account. I'm in my free-to-play account right now. As you can see, I'm working on gas. That's the current mission. That's fine, whatever. But let's take a look at what I farmed up at the beginning for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Here's all this First Order team. I now have the Relic Vader and the Relic Bosk in there as well. That's fine. I didn't have them at the time. But if you really look closely at this First Order team, I'm going to look at this First Order team first to talk about how it applies to the game, what the benefits are, what the drawbacks are, and then we're going to take a look at that Resistance Rey farm team with Rose-icron now in there. I am Rose-icron. What is she talking? Oh, hello, Finn. I am Rose-icron. We can only save the things we love, but I don't. What does she say? Something like that. We can only win by saving the things we love. I am Rose-icron. So, first of all, the thing about Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, the reason I farmed him from the very beginning was he is great in the raids. He is the #1 top Galactic Legend raid performer. I still think this is true for the most part. I think Lord Vader has a way of soloing the entire raid, but Kylo from the beginning has been able to solo the Sith raid. He can get through all the raids. He is the top Galactic Legend raid performer. He also performs in Grand Arena, and once you get him unlocked, he also performs in Squad Arena, and once you get him unlocked, he performs in Grand Arena. But with the changes in the game, with the changes that are now in the game, Grand Arena's importance over Squad Arena is going to be massive, right? All your daily crystals come from from Grand Arena now, whereas for 6 years you're getting them from Squad Arena. Squad Arena was, I remember when I first joined a competitive guild, the entire focus was, hey guys, your very first priority in this game, if you're going to be in a competitive guild, should be Squad Arena every single day. So you had to focus on Squad Arena because you were getting 500 crystals a day from that. And if you were finishing like 50 or 25, whatever, you weren't getting enough crystals to keep up with being in a competitive guild at the time, unless you were just going to fork out money to make up the crystal difference. So we focused on Squad Arena. Now that's going to change to Grand Arena because that's where all the crystals are. So you need a team that, as you're farming your Galactic Legend, right off the bat, you are also farming a Grand Arena team as well. One way to do that, of course, is going to be the gas quest, because that gas team, those Separatists and Padme early on are just baller Grand Arena teams, but then you fall behind once gas is done. You got to go get a Galactic Legend. You're a little bit behind. The same can be said for the Revan paths. Go get Darth Revan and Genetic Revan, who are completely awesome early Grand Arena teams, but you are behind on getting a Galactic Legend, Galactic Legend then. So, but let's talk about how this impacts the First Order fight. And I'm going to say right now, the First Order farm, until you get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren completed, is not a great Grand Arena team. And the Omicron that they gave to Captain Phasma is not going to help you, because it is a Territory Wars Omicron. So you're not going to apply that to Phasma to get in Grand Arena, because, guys, Grand Arena is what this game is going to be all about for the foreseeable future. I got a feeling it's going to be all about that. So you're going to end up here. We talk about, before you get to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you're going to have your Kylo team, and you're going to have a Hux team, and that's pretty much it. You're going to have a third Phasma team, but we look at the characters. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've only got 10 First Order characters. So that really gives you 2 complete First Order teams, and even when you get Supreme Leader Kylo, you still only have 2 complete First Order teams. You're kind of rounding it out with Palpatine, because Palpatine's a required farm for Supreme Leader Kylo, and you have Palpatine and Vader team. That's going to be a team that's on the side. I still highly recommend you farm the Geos, which I didn't do at the beginning. So you're just not going to be as good in Grand Arena with that Supreme Leader Kylo team. And that's why I think that when you look at Rose-icron, when you farm Rose-icron, I think I'm going to stick with that. All right, when you farm Rose-icron, so when you farm this resistance team, and this is where I am. Of course, I don't have any of this stuff, right? I wasn't farming it. I'm somewhat. I was thinking I could get Jedi Knight or Jedi Training Rey, but you got to have Scavenger Rey leveled up to do that, and I don't have her. And it might have been somebody else too. I think let's go with everybody else. I'd have to have Scavenger Rey. But let's look at something. How many resistance characters in this game? And I'm going to count R2 because you're basically going to get R2. It's an Empire farm. Once you can farm Thrawn earlier on, you can farm. You're going to get Palpatine. It's easy to get R2. So you've got 5, 10, 15. If you count 3PO, I'm not going to count 3PO. 3PO is the Ewoks. That's a whole separate ball game altogether. So if you take 3PO, once you get Rey, you have 3 full resistance teams. The Rey farm. Let's take a look at the Rey farm. If I look at the journey guide, it's been a little while. I should have looked before I made the video, but I didn't, guys. I didn't. I was just too excited to come on and talk about Rose-icron. So we need Jedi Training Rey, Finn, Resistance Trooper, Scavenger, Resistance Pilot Poe, Resistance Hero Finn, Holdo, Tyke Rose. Tyke Rose. How about that? Shit's like Thug Rose. Rose. And Rose-icron. And then you need Resistance Hero Poe, BB-8, Veteran Smuggler, Chewbacca, and Red. 100%. It is a 100% resistance farm. Whereas Supreme Leader Kylo, you're kind of going out of the way. You got to get Resistance Vet Han, and you have to get Palpatine. That's part of that farm. So you're getting some off-brand, non First Order stuff to get Kylo. But to get Rey, it's all resistance. So you end up with, I actually don't think Han's required, but you can farm him too. So, we're jumping all over the place again. I'm too excited, everybody. So, assuming you farm Resistance Hero Han, Resistance Vet Han, which maybe you won't. Maybe that would be your last farm because you don't need him to get Rey. You're going to have a full 2 teams plus some more resistance characters. And I want to talk about their usefulness in Grand Arena. First of all, you have a defense team like Finn with the resistance heroes, and then you can throw in a couple other. You can throw in the Holdo for a tank, whatever, Poe Dameron. You can put them in there. So that is a really, really good defensive resistance team in early Grand Arena. When you get to level 85, you're in that Division 11, Division 10. I use that in Division 2 Grand Arena a lot of times as a defensive team. The Finn lead with those 2. Or Jedi Training Rey with the Resistance Heroes. These are really good Grand Arena defense teams. Another great defense team is Poe Dameron with Veteran Smuggler Han and Chewie. Maybe just with Chewie in this case. But Poe Dameron's leadership ability is really good. And when you look at, he gives everybody 30% offense and 15% potency. Then he actually has a really fast base speed. You could do a lot of things here with the resistance team, a deeper resistance team in Grand Arena than you can do in Grand Arena with that Supreme Leader Kylo team. You don't end up with a lot of flexibility. You got your Kylo Ren Mass is a very good defensive character for the First Order. Everybody else really goes on offense. Palpatine with Vader, Hux with the Sith Trooper. They're offensive characters, and they can't beat a lot of those teams we're talking about. The Revans and Gas. Although these guys can't beat them either, but that's a whole separate story. But you're going to get much more defense from these guys for Grand Arena. That's important. Now let's take a look at Rose Tycho, who just turned into a real character in this game. She sat there completely. She was just the biggest piece of garbo. 100% the worst character you had to farm for any Galactic Legend out there. And I think that includes characters like Darth Maul. I'm trying to think of who else would be required for Galactic Legends. Isla Secura, who now, you get the Qui-Gon Omicron, so she's really good. But let's talk about this Rose-icron. So while in Grand Arenas, all other Resistance allies gain 10% offense for each exposed enemy, and they gain 5% turn meter whenever a Resistance ally scores a critical hit. Well, you're going to be getting a lot of critical hits because you just get a lot of critical hits in the game, but let's talk about this extra exposed offense. So many Resistance characters apply exposes, but especially with Jedi training Rey, when you look at her leadership ability, the base, I have not upgraded this at all. Obviously, I don't have her. Resistance allies have this critical chance, so you get more critical chance, which is going to be giving Rose more turn meter, and plus 10% critical damage. When they score a critical hit, they have a 70% chance to inflict expose for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. And I don't think that increases, right? No, that doesn't increase. So they're going to have you're going to be throwing exposes all over the place with a Jedi training Rey lead. You throw Rose in there, and everybody's gaining a bunch of offense all the time for those exposed enemies. Now, where else do we get exposed with these these Resistance characters? Well, Poe Dameron is his special is when he where is it? Where am I looking at? Here's what I'm looking at. Resistance Bravado. Taunt for 2 turns, remove turn meter from each enemy, which is awesome, with a 50% chance to also expose them for 2 turns. And then down here, when he maxed out, you have a 65% exposed chance. So you're going to be exposing all your enemies with that. You look at the Resistance Trooper has a lot of expose on his basic, and he's also getting turn meter. So he deals with a 35% chance to expose them, 50% here. It's going to be 65% chance for him to expose. And every time he exposes, he gains a bunch of turn meter. So he's going to be gaining more turn meter with exposes. Rose is going to be gaining turn meter. You're going to be feeding turn meter all over the place, just exposing everybody. I'm trying to think if there are more exposes on this team. There probably are, but I'm not thinking of them. Resistance Pilot even has an expose on this special with a 50% chance to expose them, and that goes up to 65%. So you got a lot of 65% chances to expose. So when I'm looking at these farms, and I'm thinking of Grand Arena being the primary place to get crystals going forward, and I'm thinking of you free-to-play characters, but even people that are jumping into the game fresh and are pay-to-play, and you don't want to invest like massive amounts of money into Jedi Master Kenobi or Lord Vader off the bat. I really believe that everything has just changed with Rose-icron. With her new Omicron, I think you're going to be able to field basically 3 effective Resistance teams for offense and defense in Grand Arena. And when you're down in Division 11 and 10, and you're dialed in on that Resistance team and Rey, you're going to be way ahead of a lot of your opponents. Just way up. I did pretty well with the First Order. I was going 2-1. I was even able to get a Kyber early on, which Kyber down in Division 11 and 10 is not all that easy. You really have to go like over the course of you have to go like 10-2 to get it. And I was able to achieve that, but man, I ran into some teams that I just couldn't overcome, and I couldn't clear a lot of teams. I really think that with this new Rose-icron there, with Jedi training Rey there, with your Poe lead, your Finn lead, until even before you get Jedi, when you get Rey, Galactic Legend Rey, you're going to be a lot better off in Grand Arena with this Resistance team now, and Grand Arena's importance is through the roof now. And then once you get Rey, when you put Rose onto Rey's team, with all the extra offense you're going to be giving her, people are not going to be able to overcome that when you're in Division 9 and 10. That's where you'll be once you get Rey on her team. You'll be in Division 9s and 10. People will not be able to overcome that team on defense with almost anything. I just played through Division 10 Grand Arena, my first one, with Supreme Leader Kylo, and I only ran into one other Galactic Legend the entire time. You put Rey with Rose-icron on defense, nobody's touching her. They're not getting through. And maybe you can even save her for offense. Anyway, I just think now that you have Rose-icron out there, that it's created a different, best first Galactic Legend for you to farm. And I think now, if you want to follow back through my channel, I've got a whole free-to-play thing, and it follows the First Order farm as I went through it the entire way. You can just tweak those ideas. It's the same ideas. It's the same type of farming for Kylo. You got the ships. You got everything involved. Just tweak it and do it for Rey now would be my advice. I think that's what you should be doing as a first-time player if you're looking to play free-to-play, or you're going to spend some money, not a ton of money. You don't want to spend, you know, $500. You want to spend 20 here, 10 there, whatever. I think Rey is going to be your best option for an early game Galactic Legend to farm to be successful in Grand Arena. And guys, that's all I have to say about it. This is an amazing change and turn of events that they've made in the game now, including all the gear you farm. I got other advice for that I'll come in with later. But that's all we got for today. Go get Rey as your first Galactic Legend, unless you want to spend a bunch of money. Then you can go get Kenobi or Lord Vader. And always, of course, remember, Nuke's too good.